Hey everybody, Carl here, and I've been trying to do something. As a matter of fact, I was working on one thing, and that really didn't work out the way I wanted to, at least not just yet. But I have been working on something else, and I kind of wanted to bring it to you and see what you guys thought. It's one of those things that, here, go check this out, uh, as you know, several of us, Doug from Mosslack, Bob from Robert Givens, Greg, all the different guys have been playing with the 3D printers. And when you're doing 3D printing, now you can go on Thingiverse and you can get stuff. I mean, there's so much stuff out there that people just upload for you to just grab and go print, and it's wonderful. I mean, it's very generous from everybody to be doing that, and it's easy, especially when you're first starting to get used to your printer. But eventually, you want to learn how to create your own projects. I mean, that's part of the thrill of having a 3D printer, is to get an idea or concept or a need and be able to turn that into a physical piece that you make. And now, one of the things that we've been using for a while is Tinkercad. And that's a wonderful program. You don't have to download software. All you do is you go to their website, you sign up for it. There's some really good tutorials on to get you started. The whole process is real easy. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that Doug did a pretty thorough video on him going in and creating something. I don't know if Greg did or not, but anyway, and that's what I've been using for a while because it's easy, But I've also wanted to try to take it to another step, and so there's this one program out there. It's called Fusion360, and it's a little more advanced. It has a lot bigger learning curve. The cool thing about it is if you get into like CNC machining, where you're gonna, you actually set the programs up and then you turn it loose, and the program will machine out what you wanted to put into it. Well, it's like the opposite of the 3D printer. On the 3D printer, you are adding to create, and with like a milling machine, lathe, that you are taking materials away to create something. But either way, you end up with something, right? But being able to create things that you can do that with in machining, you need to be able to learn the programs that will do it. And Fusion360 is one of those programs that will let you do that. And it's just a different way of doing things. And like I said, I wanted to try it. So I've been working on it a little bit, and I'm not good at it at all. I haven't even actually printed anything out that I've made in here. And here's the thing, the regular Fusion 360 is not free, okay? If you're going to use it, you're going to be in a machine shop and stuff, and you're going to use it commercially, you're going to have to pay. But they do have a program that you can download it for free if it's for personal use only. It's not for commercial use at all. It has the features and everything, and they give you 10 saves. 10. Anyway, so you can, like, let's say you have a project, and you set it all up and you want to save it. That's going to be one of your saves, and you get 10 of those a month. which at first I have not even saved one yet. So I'll go in and practice, and then I'll knock it out. So that's, that's how that goes. So what I wanted to do is, as you can see behind me, over there, that's part of the Fusion360 program, and I wanted to try to show you some of the stuff that I'm doing, and maybe you could be interested in it. You can go check it out. I know I wish I was a younger guy, where my my brain was working a little bit better, so I could take this stuff in better. So maybe some of you younger guys can take advantage of your youthful brain, So, but I'm gonna switch over here. Okay, that way I knocked myself down a little bit further. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop over to this, and I'm going to try to explain what I'm doing while I'm doing it, okay? So, all right. Now, when you first start, now here's one. Let's see if I can bring this up. That's something that I was playing around with, and I'm going to try to recreate this for you guys now. So, and see, they're untitled. I'm not even saving them, but we'll click here. We're going to start out fresh. Now, this is so much different than Tinkercad. It's like the other side of the planet. But there's some basic things you can do. And now I watched some videos. One of them was a guy named Anderson. I can't think of his first name right off, but he's got a couple videos out there, tutorials. The only thing is, he did his tutorials a couple years ago, and all this here was different. I mean, it's this. You can watch it, and you can figure things out by what he's doing, but you have to dig a little bit, because it's not the exact, this is an updated program. So, but one of the things you want to do when you first start, you have this list over here. And if you notice right up at the top, well, mine says unsaved, but what I'm going to do is, to get this going, is I'm going to click this and see which, when I put my cursor over it, it says activate component. We want to start out with a component. So there, now we've got, it's unsaved. It says if you don't save it, changes may be lost. Yeah, okay. Now another thing you want to do is you want to create a component. And to do that, we're going to right click, and we're going to put new component. Okay, and then we pop over here, and we're just going to have it standard internal. It's going to be called a component, and we can change the name. So we can say, let's call it box. Okay, so our first one is, we'll call it box. Now, now we can add more stuff to this. We can add a new component. We can do all kinds of things. But what we're going to do first is, we want to create a new sketch. And what a sketch is, that's how you get started, okay? And to create a sketch, you either have to do it on like the side of a box, or you have to do it on a plane. And since we're first starting out, we're just going to do it first of all on a plane here. So let's do that. So let's hit create sketch, and when we do that, see, we've got a box here, and we've got several sides that we can choose from. It doesn't matter which side. See, we're gonna, so we will use this right here. I'm just going to use this one here. And I want you to look over here. We do have a reference over in the top right corner. And we're going to use that later. We can use that later. But we're going to, right now we're going to click just one face. And now we're ready to start our sketch. And we're going to start with a box. Now let's do a box that'll be, let's say it'll be 50 millimeters by 60 millimeters. And here's one thing. You can come over here and you can change your like the document settings, like in units. You can change the units to inches. You can change whatever you want. We're going to keep these at millimeters for right now. I kind of feel that for what we're going to do right at the moment, that it just might be the easiest thing to do. Now, I think the guy's name is Lars. And one thing, he shows some good tips that I use. One of them is there's a lot of shortcuts. And the things we're going to do, we can find everything up here and we can go through all that. Our keyboard that helps out. One of them is the S key, and that will give us a what is called the model toolbox. So let's hit S. And here we have our sketch shortcuts. We've got one for a line. We've got a 2-point rectangle. We've got a center diameter circle. And then we have a center rectangle. Now that's the one I want to use to start out. The center rectangle, because I'll show you here in a second what it does. Now let's say we didn't have a center rectangle in here and we wanted to find it or use it. You can come in here and search, and if we were to, we could put like center, and you notice, and when you look at your center diameter, center to point, center to rectangle, we could use that one there. Now since it's already up there, you see there's an X here, but let's say we wanted to go to center arc point. You see where that little arrow goes up? We could add this center arc point up to our shortcuts. So we already have center rectangle, so the only other choice now would be to remove it. We don't want to remove it. We want to keep it selected and keep it selected. So we're going to go here and we're going to hit center rectangle. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to get to the center part. I'm going to left click my mouse and I'm going to pull out. Okay, and it doesn't matter what size you pull out at, because we're going to adjust it. If you see the blue boxes, like the one down at the bottom there is 63. And see, as we take it out, it'll go out and grow. But what we said we're going to do 50 by 60 millimeters. So let's make this one 60, so we'll go 6, 0. Now before we do anything else, you'll notice at the bottom now, we've got 60 down there. And if I hit my tab key, now we've got the second dimension, and there we're going to put in 50. And then when I hit enter, we've got our box, and our box is set now, and we can tell that because we have black lines until we, now we can go on the line, and when we go on the line, see what happens? But having the line will actually turn blue because we might want to change that, but we're not going to change it. So it's black, and now we have this blue area in the center. So what we're going to do is, it's just it's one dimension. We have it's flat. We have no depth to it. So what we want to do is we're going to right click. We're going to, hold on, let's try that again. We're going to make a sketch. Okay, and we're going to click that there. Now, we want to put some depth to it. So what we need to do is we're gonna take a move. It's called a push pull, and to do that, I'm going to hit the letter Q. Now look it's changed, and we have this arrow. Now if we take this arrow and come out this way, we're going into a minus, which we don't really want at the moment. But if we go the other way, and if you see here, now it's showing us the depth of what this is going to be. Right now it's at 40 millimeters. Let's make this 50, and I'm going to stop right there, and I'm just going to type in 50, and I'm going to hit enter. Now we've got a box. Now we want to take the inside part out of this box, and there's several ways you could do it. You could make another sketch and then try to set it inside of here and that, but we're going to do something a little bit different. Let's say we know what size we want our walls to be. Let's say we want them to be 3 millimeters thick. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do an offset. You know what I think I need to do? I think I need to do a new sketch first. So let me cancel that out. Let's go to sketch on this one. And we want okay, now let's see what happens if I hit the blue. Okay, got it. Hang with me, guys. Like I said, I'm new at this too. So, okay, so now what I'm going to do, the offset, I'm going to bring it in. Now, see, by bringing it in, I'm doing a minus. If I was to do an outside, it would be a positive. But we want to go inside, so we're going to go, we said 3 millimeters, so let's hit 3. And now, whoops, let's hit minus 3. There we go. Okay, so now we've got minus 3, and that's what we want. So we're going to hit OK. And now we're going to take this surface here, and we're going to do it. We're going to hit Q again because we've got the offset, right? How far we want to be from the wall. But now we want to put some depth in that. So let's hit Q, and that gives us our push-pull again. And if we start here, now if we come up this way, we would be putting a positive part on it. But we want to go down. We want to go down to the bottom, and let's say this is, let's go 40. Let's go 45. What the heck? Okay, so let's keep 45 minus 45. We click that, and now we've got our box. And if I want to rotate this, I can rotate it several ways. I can come up here to this cube up here, and I can also move it around by down here where it says constrained orbit. And we could do free orbit, which when you first start you don't want to really do that, or we can do constrained orbit. And if we do that, we can make it pivot by using our mouse here like this. I've got the left mouse pushed down. You see how that right there is, and so that gives us our box. Now there's so many other things we can do. And if you guys are interested in this, we can do some more, or, you know, if you down the road, if you feel you might want to, check it out, you can always go to Fusion360 and download it and play with it, mess with it yourself and see if you like it. If you want me to try to show you more here, I would be more than glad to. Just let me know, down in the comments that you'd like to see, more of this. And as I learn, I would be glad, more than glad, to share it with you guys. So, right, I'm going to click out right here. Let me come back to here. And like I said, I don't know how interesting a lot of people are going to be on this. I know there's not a lot of people that are doing 3D printers. I got mine as a gift, and I've enjoyed it. And you like the louder model that I have, the prices have come down on them so great. You can get that, I believe, for like around $200 now. And I know it doesn't sound like much, but when you think about it, this same printer, 5 years ago, would have probably cost about $2,000. So, it's amazing that, what the prices are. And, it's not for everybody, but if if there's a way that you can afford it and you want to do building, it's a lot of fun. It's really interesting, and it helps stimulate your mind because you're building stuff and you're doing things. And nowadays, and I know once the COVID deal has, once we get over this hump where we can really be out and be normal again, if that's ever going to be possible, there'll be things to do. But for right now, a lot of us are kind of stuck at home, and you don't really want to take the chance of losing your life over some silly virus, so you're not out like you normally would be. And so 3D can be a lot of fun, and it can be really useful. You can make stuff for yourselves, you can make stuff for your friends. And like I said, with Fusion360, if you get into machining and you get into the CNC part of it, where it's all, computerized numbering, well then this would be handy to have too, and like I said, I'm still going to be using Tinkercad for a while. If I need to make something, I need to make it quick, I'm going to go to Tinkercad. But down the road, I want to be able to use this one. Matter of fact, one of the cool things about this, and I'll leave it at this, and I'll be exploring this later on, is there's a hookup to McMaster's card, which, if you guys know anything about getting parts and from plumbing, electrical, a lot of machining parts and all that, McMaster's card is a place that you can go and get a lot of stuff. And so what Fusion has done is they have a whole library of like their screws and bolts and things like that. So if you wanted to add like bolts that run down into your project, well, you can take one of their bolts and like add it to the project, and it will put the threads in and the whole deal. So like if you wanted to get a 1/4 inch 20 bolt, you just put that in, and then when it prints out, it knows that there's going to be a 20 inch or a 1/4 inch 20 bolt in there, and it will print the threads inside and everything for you. So you don't have to go in and do the threading yourself. It's there. Anyway, I'll take enough of your time. I haven't been on here for a little bit. I don't believe that Doug and I are going to be doing a live podcast tomorrow night. We're still trying to line people up, and you have to line them up, and then you have to bring them in so everything works right. And there's a lot behind the scenes that that goes on. So anyway, if we are on in it, and I look forward to then. Otherwise, thanks so much for being here with me. I appreciate all of you. I hope you guys know that by now. And please take care of one another and be good to one another, because we need it now more than ever. It just, we really need it. So, all right, enough of this. I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic day and evening or whatever you got. See you soon. Bye.